everybody. Today we're going to work on one of my favorite things, which is a couple variations of quadruped. Quadruped is hands and knees, tabletop, and the two things we'll be focusing on in quadruped will be Chakravakasana, which is taking your spine from extension or cow to flexion or scared cat. So we'll go through that today, and we'll also go through one of my favorite stabilizers for the spine, working these really tiny muscles along the spine called the multifidus. And that's going to be bird dog or alternate leg and arm extenders. So we're going to do quite a bit today. When you need to take a break, please take a break. But the thing we're not going to do when we take a break today is child's pose. We're going to stay completely away from child's pose. So your alternate will be coming up on your knees from tabletop. And you can do a little knee marching. You can do wrist circles in both directions, whatever feels good. But just being upright in this position. So before we start, a few landmark identifiers. So in my Ayama experience, my Ayama training, applied yoga anatomy and muscle activation, we learned about just that, how to activate muscles and use our body properly. So I'm going to give you some cueing that we'll be using in tabletop. You're going to find your pubis bone, so the ridge of your pubis, your belly button, and finally your manubrium, which is the space between your breasts. So these are the 3 points we'll be talking about to find your body moving from extension to flexion. So I'm going to quickly show you the difference in your pelvis. So when you're in neutral, now my back is not like everybody else's back, nor is yours, so it's all good, no judgment. So here's my neutral. Here is my posterior or rounding, arching scared cat. Here is my neutral, also known as flexion, was the posterior. And anterior, lifting up that tailbone, belly button drops. I'm feeling that sway back of a cow. Okay, that extension of my spine. So those are the different variations, and this is my neutral. So we're going to come to tabletop. And in tabletop, you're going to have your hands shoulder width apart. Nice spread fingers like starfish. Middle fingers pointing forward. You're taking the upper arms and you're hugging this imaginary beach ball. And not locking through the elbows, just keeping a soft micro bend. Pressing through the thumb and pointer finger like you're trying to reach toward the center middle of the mat. And your knees are hip width distance apart. Your shins or feet are the same direction. And you're trying to lift your body away from the floor without arching it. So you might be tight in your spine. Work subtly and slow. Don't try to overdo it. So first I just try to find neutral. Then we're going to turn our toes under. We're finding our pure breath. That 1-to-1 inhale matches exhale without pause, jerking or gasping. Turning the toes under. With the next inhale, let the belly button drop down to the floor. The manubrium lifts a little bit further away, and keep the head from lifting too high. So we don't want to come way up here to start. We're mostly tight here. Then we're going to, on the exhale, untuck the toes, flattening the feet, pulling the belly button into the spine, arching through the upper back like your scared cat, tucking your chin in towards your throat, and then gently releasing the neck just a few times, continuing to breathe. On the next inhale, the toes turn under. The belly button starts to dip down toward the floor as the manubrium pushes away from the floor. Lifting and pushing away. Listen to your neck. On the exhale, untucking the toes, arching through the back. Feeling that flexion in your spine, tucking your chin. Use your breath. Turn the toes under. On the inhale, the tailbone lifts as the belly button drops, the manubrium lifts. The chin might come up a little further, space between the shoulders and neck. On the exhale, untuck the toes, rounding and arching, flexing the back, the spine, tuck the chin, breathe. One more, use your breath. Turn the toes under. The inhale lifts the tailbone, belly button drops, pushing the manubrium away, broad collarbone. On the exhale, untucking the toe, flexing through the spine, feeling that without overdoing it. There's no need to rush. Keep pressing through the palms and find yourself returning back to your neutral position. Then let's lean back into the hips, come back up on the knees. And then we're going to just take a little break here. So we're on our knees, we're gently marching, wrists in circles in one direction, circles in the other direction. Okay, so this is our little rest time. You can shrug your shoulders up and bring them back down. Inhaling them up, exhaling them down. Maybe one more. You can do the same thing with your shoulder circles up, back, and down. Good. Find that breath, reconnect to it, up, forward, and down. And now we're going to bring ourselves back for bird dog. So when we come back down, we reestablish that natural, neutral position. We're trying to find the back nice and level, not sway back, not arched. Now, we're going to try something new in bird dog. So we find our neutral position, hug our beach ball. Now tell your right hand and your left leg to push into the floor just a little bit more. You're going to feel engagement. And then extend left arm, right leg. Your hips are squaring, you're breathing, staying connected through the right hand and left leg. Then you're going to bring that left hand down and your right knee down. Find the knees on the same plane. You can pick them up a little bit. You can take the hips to the right. Bring them through center. Take them to the left. Through center. Find neutral. Hug your beach ball. Now you're going to tell that left hand and right leg to hold you. Feel it happening. Press down, muscles activate, then extend right arm, left leg. Nice and square through the hips, not trying to do too much. Work subtle, slow. Carefully bring the arm and leg back down. Then you could do a few little circles. 2 in each direction as you return back to your pure breath. Push the hips back, come up onto the knees, take a little break. And you could do that a few more times, but just starting with 1 repetition would be a great option too. So let me know how those work out for you, but I hope you can really start to feel that deep core line activating to keep you strong and stable. And have a beautiful day. Namaste.